to face EG later today. The next team going to be going down to face Team Faceless in that best of one in our next upcoming series. Let's get into it, guys, and we'll have our answers here before us. It's going to be secret, it looks like, with the first ban, unless that indicator is wrong.
They're going to ban Meepo, second ban. They did it first 2 games.
Was the game remade? They're going into the bonus time, so maybe the game was actually remade. Not sure.
Classic.
Sometimes if you get the first pick option.
Or not, I mean...
You don't normally use your reserve time on your first ban, but they do.
But they do. But that's a secret thing, God.
I think
Mind games, they didn't want that 60 seconds.
Aiming for that Shadow Demon, I think, because they banned Luna.
It took DC no time, though, to quickly go into and get rid of that Ember. Yeah. They knew what they wanted. Or they knew what they don't want.
So they want to. You think they want to first pick Shadow Demon? They'll ban Meepo, who I assume.
Yeah, Meepo now, and just pick Shadow Demon if it's in the pool.
That's a hero pilot I've played a lot, and Team Secret in the past have always really liked to go for. So, they ban it, leaving Meepo. All right, that's the game 3 strat. Let's go. Or do they play Meepo?
Who plays Meepo on this team?
You know, it would be mid one, I imagine, but he doesn't really play it.
I mean, Puppy's a pretty damn good micro player, but I haven't seen him play much Meepo. We don't know where Secret's been for 2 months, man. Maybe they've been, secretly grinding away some Meepo games.
This guy's from SEA. Everyone plays Meepo there, so.
That's true. Got some private bed coaching lessons or something? We'll see. But final ban from DC was the Wisp, so you got Underlord still out there, but it seems like both these teams don't really care about that hero.
They may just save their second pick for like a Winter Wyvern. If they see DC first to the Meepo, they can second pick Winter Wyvern. If they don't first to it, then they ban it in the second stage. So this first pick may just be like something well-rounded. And yeah, Slider picked up. And they have that second pick Winter Wyvern option if Meepo is taken.
Do you think they will go for it?
Game 3 decider, yeah, I think they will. I think the hero is very strong. Wii is fantastic on it.
Is a Wyvern enough, though? I mean, some people say that if you're just kind of throwing out your ult in hopes that it's just enough to take out the Meepo, that you're losing a lot of the purpose of the Wyvern, and,
If you shut down Meepo early, like kill him once, twice in the mid lane, at between minute 5, I'd say, and minute 10, he gets so much XP, so it's like a really, really good things to do. But
DC just doing something totally different, though. I mean, Legion against the Slider is always nice to be able to purge off the amp.
And stun.
Very different look from DC.
We did see S4 share of LC play yesterday. Pretty damn good there.
Moon was one of the players on the old OG that used to play Legion more than anyone, I feel. Like, when I think Legion, like, who's a Legion commander player, Moon is the first person that comes to mind for me.
Oh, definitely. All
Again, with the silencer pick, they really love it. It might be kind of late when you initiate with Legion Commander, throwing the silence out there.
Yeah, it's funny that they continue to go for the silencer because I see Legion Commander now, and it's like, would this have been one of those times when the Puppy Dazzle could have come out? You have minus armor, synergy with the Slardar, you have a way to save someone caught inside the duel with LC.
I think they want to be more the aggressors. Like that's the idea with the silence. You're never picking this hero to react to a duel. You're picking it to be the ones initiating the fight. And that's where they feel like they've got the Slider. They can pair it with an aggressive mid or a carry. They can start a fight, global silence, win that fight. Yeah, with the Dazzle, like if you're starting the fight, the Dazzle doesn't offer much aggressive potential. He's the one who bails you out.
Yeah, he's the static one. We saw in the first game when they were initiating with the silencer pick. I mean, with Ember Spirit and Nyx Assassin, the fights went into their favor. The second game, they didn't have any kind of initiation, so Silencer didn't get any int, no fights. Like, it was a static game, 4-4 at minute 10. Silencer didn't work out. It's good when you have a hero like a Slardar, so you can just have a free initiation on them. Stun, ulti, focus, global silence.
Second phase of bans here coming out. DC rid of the Lifestealer. We had known and seen in the past that it's a wonderful pairing with the Slardar in hand, but will be denied this go around.
I imagine at least one of the cores of Secret will be something pretty heavy in terms of physical damage, whether it's like the TASF type mids or a safe lane jug type hero. Definitely or I'd be looking for them to go with their draft.
Is this the third ban of Slark?
We're seeing a lot of second stage Slark bans.
Were they all bans from Secret side too? Banning
I think so.
DC's Slark? Yeah, it was a resolution grab for a while there, but, you know, could we see them just go back into something like Terrorblade once again, or is DC feeling like one of those things like, we don't want to run the same thing twice?
They want to wait. They probably, until they see the cause of Secret, it's hard to go right into the Terrorblade. There's some heroes that really hard counter it. Tinker, one of the better ones. It's hard to play Terrorblade against like Invoker as well, so... I think until they see, like, maybe, like, it's really good when you've seen the Luna, because you know Luna, oh, the short-range hero. Yeah, it's great. But
if they're going to pick it, they're going to be their last pick, probably.
yeah.
No point in picking it now.
DC obviously going to be denying what could have been a three-peat right there in the Ogre Magi.
The Meepo's still in the pool, though. Will it be banned?
I mean, there's not a lot out there to deter the pick, really, so. But also no real reason, I guess, to jump into it at this point.
Judging by the bans, Nikes, Ogre, I don't think they're going for a Meepo.
And that's what I was thinking too, but then, like, maybe it's the mind game, you know? Just ban stuff where it doesn't look like you're going Meepo, so it's still in the pool, and then you just
it's
it.
like, mind blown.
Yep. It's the long con.
That's Misery, though, and he showed a lot of traits of that back at TI, too. He had some crafty drafting plays, even against Wings there up into the finals.
Yep.
But man, Secret just
Taking their
going
time.
all through the reserve time at the start of the draft and here now. But Puppy really, I don't know if it's a mind game or a head scratcher here, but he's definitely thinking long and hard about this.
Especially for I mean, this is a more harder to think about ban than perhaps that first ban, but we'll see what he wants to go for. Earth Spirit's the other hero still in the pool, which I feel has had a lot of success, something DC could easily run for Misery. I look towards him playing like a Earth Spirit, Pudge type roaming support. Ooh.
Looks like Shadow Fiend will get the X, and we go right back the way of DC here. And they're going to go with the greatest hero in the game. The best hero in the game.
Is this cute Naga Siren? Is this the Naga game now?
Oh, yeah. You know what? That does seem feasible. Even Terrorblade, I guess, can work okay with a Carl, too, if you need to give him around the map. Opens up those options of split pushing for him when normally they were not. But that does make me feel like Naga's a bit more potent here. What are you smirking about? You don't agree that Carl's the greatest hero in the game?
Tell me the story behind the Coral.
Well, many ages ago, he has genocided all of Night Stalker's people. What kind of story do you want me to tell? I'll be honest with you, though. I wasn't really excited about the talents when they announced them. They're kind of neat. Casting ranges, of course, is always amazing to have, especially when you're really potent with the Mana Leak. And then the Illuminate, I guess, level 25
Casting range,
boost.
you can cast from 2 meters behind.
Yeah, it's okay. But, I mean, now we see the reason why it was picked, though. And there's the Naga. It comes out now. DC looking to kind of really just take this one home.
I mean, Paul Cottle, like, this guy's like, man, I get to finally be picked, but
no,
he's only going to be picked because
he's an
Naga.
Uber. That's really all he becomes now. He's an Uber driver, and he'll be there for Naga. So.
Not strong enough to be picked on his own merits. Man, Secret have to think fast. They have so little time to pick heroes here. They get the Timbersaw, some good wave clear, being able to push out lanes against Naga Siren, very important. Their first 3 heroes have 0 D-push. That's a big issue for me as far as the start of their draft goes, and that's something that both their last 2 picks I feel are going to need to have.
Yeah, it's funny because we know Secret to play a lot of like the Lion, back in the day. Pilot Eye Lion, the Shanghai Major was kind of a staple at that point. Could have helped a bit with the Illusion Gaming, but obviously they couldn't see ahead of time what was coming unless you did really read into that Coddle pick. But Timber will help a bit on the wave clearing department, but they're going to, as you mentioned, need a bit more.
They have a lot of minus armor for clearing everything up, but
That minus armor, but who right-clicks?
that's going to be the last hero.
But the kind of right-click heroes like you normally think of aren't necessarily great against Naga, like your Jugs, your Terrorblades. Maybe you can go like a Terrorblade and just try to take down a lot of towers and play a fast-paced game, but it does feel like they lack any physical damage. They don't have any good building hitters.
I'm going to reach here. Sniper, Get the, and then, I don't know. I'm thinking like a physical DPS who can opt for like a Mjolnir or something.
For Secret. Yeah.
Jug.
Well, I guess it depends what lane Timber. Timber could go safe lane. You do the sniper mid. That works. All right. That's no problem. No reason why they couldn't do that.
There is flexibility in Secret's lineup. I've seen Kazu play the Timber Saw plenty of times. I believe I've seen them do the 4-position Slardar if necessary.
Yeah, but it's not going to be a 4-position Slardar since they have Silencer and Dazzle.
You mean core Silencer is not an option here?
Mjolnir Silencer?
We'll see here. Final ban to come out here from DC. Reading into this, anticipating the core pickup.
Morphling ban, yeah.
The morph. All right.
They need some. They need to go late game and contest the Naga with some big carry like a Morphling, or they need to be able to fight early. But there isn't really any great early fighting pushing carries left. The Terrorblade's like okay.
They can't finish the game if you take whatever hero you take. You can't finish the game before Naga gets Radiance.
So
against Coral and the Legion Commander, and with these heroes you don't have any push.
So you think they just
Silencers,
get like
they don't hit towers or
get a late game carry basically? You think?
Yes.
Not a hero I like to watch too often, but I haven't seen too much of this person in 7.0 plus. Alchemist?
No. Number in the mid is taken for Timbersaw, and
I think the Timber most likely is mid
him
too.
being safe lane is just meh.
I'm looking to pull out some new ideas here, you know? Get
No.
the brain thinking a bit. So obviously that's what Secret
I
has
see
to do
only
here.
Juggernauts
It's just
here.
seconds left. They're going to go for PA. Okay. You're asking for physical DPS?
It combos well with Slider, but it does not push towers. It fights early. This is like the early game. Let's win the lanes. Let's win the early game approach. But scaling into the late game is not going to be something Secret necessarily do all too well.
All right, DC with only 10 seconds remain here. Their final grab with their Naga LC lineup. Rounding things out with the mid lane grab for Wii. Potentially it's going to be the Ursa. One to be able to go toe-to-toe with the PA.
Nice kind of counter pick for the Timbersaw in the lane as well. Pretty hard to match. Timbersaw does really well against almost all heroes mid with the reactive armor, but Ursa, one of the few counters there is. And one of Weeha's most played heroes in pub games. He loves the Ursa.
All right, guys, based on the draft, is it going to be DC moving on to face EG, or will it be Secret?
Judging by the draft, I think Digital Chaos got this like really easy.
Yeah,
because
I think their draft's way better.
If the game goes in the late game, they have a better late game. In the laning phase, I think they're stronger as well. You have bottom PA, Silencer, and Dazzle against LC. LC is going to get a lot of levels. And just having Naga Sirens, once she gets that Manta style, she can just remove the global silence, cancel the fight.
Are you on the same boat there, Gods?
Yeah, I mean, I saw the first 4 picks for both teams, and I was like, I don't quite see what Secret's going to do. I don't feel like the last pick PA solved too many of their problems, and DC with the Ursa, I think, is a great pick to create some space for Naga Siren.
All right. Silencer and Dazzle don't have any mobility at all, and they don't synergize well together. So.
Looks like we have a game underway, so let's go ahead and not waste much time. We'll throw it over to our on-site casters right now. It's Odie, Pixel, and Merlini.
Thank you very much, Dakota. Indeed, Game 3 between DC and Secret. And have we got some exciting heroes as well? The final finisher for DC being Weeha's Ursa. And over on Secret, Ben, we're seeing MP pick up the PA. This is a hero that pro players just aren't touching.
Risky, for sure. I think it doesn't match up well versus the Naga Siren in the later game, but in the early mid, very, very strong, especially with the amplified damage. I think you can really just one-shot, two-shot maybe these low armor heroes like the Keeper of the Light. I think the Phantom Assassin is pretty good here. They also don't have a good way to deal with the evasion. I do think the Keeper or the Phantom Assassin will struggle versus things like Blinding Light and Enrage versus the Ursa, but I think it's kind of the fast pace that they need, although I am a little bit worried about their pace considering how slowly they played last game.
Absolutely. It's always going to be a bit of a worry for Secret going up against DC's signature combination, the Keeper of the Light Naga Siren combo that we saw back at the last time, back at ESL. If DC wanted to get their hands on it, they had to get it as the first 2 picks. This time around in the draft, they were able to pick it up a little later on, maybe because of the case that potentially Secret feel that they have the answer to kind of Resolution's Naga? I mean, we saw them obviously struggle with game 2 with Resolution's farm on a Terrorblade. How are we going to see things pan out differently? You know, how are Secret going to deal with Resolution's farm this game?
Get PA involved early, I think. Just fight a lot more than last game. I think if they play it slow like last game, keep the Naga will get big. They don't really have any good solutions to Naga side. Like Timbersaw is okay, but PA and Slardar are just terrible at dealing with it. So I think they need to start hitting around, you know, maybe Phantom Assassin's level 6, I would say.
Well, Dire's Courier already being taken down here. So Secret off to a nice little start. They're getting a bit of a cash bonus. Mid lane as well, we're seeing just the aggression from MP and Pylai doing their best to kite away from the creep wave.
I think it's really important that they dodge the Timbersaw matchup. Though I think the PA is much better suited in that mid lane versus the Ursa because of the blur, and especially this duel lane. This duel lane is putting out a ton of pressure onto Wii.
Absolutely, Weehar getting low. Top lane, there's a bit of a go onto Kezi, but he holds them back with a crush. Bottom lane, Moon down relatively low as well. A lot of damage being done on all 3 lanes at the moment. A huge amounts of harassment from both sides. Resolution doing his best to ward Kezi right back out of the lane. The same certainly being said down here. Mid one, falling low, has regen. A good amount as well. Salve and a couple of tangos good to go. Mid lane, Weehar trying to close in once again onto them. A good heal bomb from Pi. Could potentially turn this one around. And MP with another dagger. We could be in trouble there. The tango regen's not going to be enough. And first blood in the mid lane going to Secret for this Dazzle PA combo.
Wii is very, very aggressive as an Ursa. Didn't really respect the Shadow Wave there, and it just brought him down to critical HP.
And we usually back in, getting the pound onto MP, forcing him back. A very tasty creep wave coming in for MP as well. Weehar, he is playing incredibly aggressive. You mentioned it. I mean, it seems like a little bit of an understatement. He's diving right under the tower here. MP and Pi will just do their best to continue to kite him out, but Weehar just going fully in at the moment, trying to soak up what XP can underneath this tower. MP and Pi still doing their best to keep him away from the creep wave.
It's really bad because Wee's, I think, lower level than this duo lane. Like both of them are 3 and 3 1/4, 3 1/2, whereas Wee's sitting like 3 1/4. So this lane is going to get worse and worse, I think. Especially if they pick up Lightstone in the lane, and he's not going to have any defensive abilities until level 6. And he's 400 gold away from his bottle. He's going to have to use a shrine to carry him over in lane, but it's going to be a long time before he's going to recover from this.
It looks like he's going to have a bit of a backup coming. Misery rotating across from the bottom lane. Moon has managed to find his way up to level 3.5, and I guess with that in mind, DC feel that Moon's sort of safe to be left on his own down here on this bottom lane.
Yeah, the Keeper came down early and made sure that he got at least a couple levels. That's kind of all you really need on the Legion Commander. Puppey is going to try and be as annoying as possible on the side lane, or on the side of the lane, but very difficult to out-harass the Legion. Very, very fast with the overwhelming odds, and just able to right-click. That's
really, chunking into Puppey here. Mid one. Ready to ward him back off, but Moon has got the heal.
Yeah, the heal also, it seems like it takes off the Whirling Death, so that's really, really strong. Gives him a lot of HP.
Kezu continuing to try and hold his ground as offensively as he can. He's going to get caught out by a Magic Missile and an Illuminate, and one more touch from the call. Misery will pick up the kill. DC getting themselves a bit of action as Misery has been very kind of mobile across the map, starting out on bottom, swept through past mid, ends up on the top lane, gets themselves a kill.
Yeah, they have no idea where Misery is, and he could be just sitting in the fog waiting for a blast. And mid lane, they can't dive because Keeper could just blast the PA at the tower and they would just die. They also can't really go aggressively on the Legion Commander because of the Keeper Light, and it's just really shoring up all their lanes and making it very difficult for Secret to go for any sort of kills in these lanes. They are keeping down Wii in the mid lane. Wii's 11 CS versus 20 from the PA.
On top lane. Wise managed to get the wraparound here onto Saxa. A good crush and a heal bomb, bringing Saxa down low, and Kezu will be able to take himself a kill. Saxa getting caught out of position.
He thinks they have a ward where Dire has a ward, but instead it's a little bit more to the right. Covers the rune area. Secret seem to prefer that ward a little bit more.
So lane so far as well on this bottom lane. The CS for the two of them. Mid 1, 23 for 4. Moon 17 for 0. Fairly close mid one with a slight advantage. Considering all the action that's gone down in mid, 12-0 on Weehar, 22 and 8 on MP. MP with a favourable lead. And this top lane as well, Kezu who did definitely struggle in terms of making an impact in Game 2. He's off to a good start here in Game 3. He's level 5, he's getting good experience, 11 CS as well, and has been having to deal with Resolution plus Misery or plus Saxa, as both supports have kind of swapped around their positioning and helped out the Naga in this top lane.
And Rezo already sending his illusions off to the jungle. Could easily creep it with one of the supports, but sends 3 to the small camp to try and work up some extra gold.
Yeah, look at this micro. Super neat. Just keeping all the illusions alive. Maximum efficiency from Resolution for sure. Already, Saxa holds back Pi with the magic missile. The two supports looking to chase down Saxa with the curse from Puppey as well. Won't be enough to get the kill, but it'll certainly give them a bit of a scare, forcing them to back up to the tower. Mid lane, Weeha still struggling to keep at the same pace of MPCS. 30 against the 13. MP with the lead that was given, having a great time. Bottom lane, mid one, actually able to find a solo kill. That looks like he just hit up on the 6 and was able to outplay Moon with the chakram. A little bit unexpected there.
Yeah, Timbersaw is devastating in lane versus any sort of strength. Pilot wrapping from around Wee with the heal. It's enough.
Just about. Very, very close. Moon coming in, seeing if he can find a dual potential. Has to be maybe a little careful himself with the crits flying through and Puppey's presence. Saxa is there to offer backup for Moon. A jump forward from MP. He's looking to finish off the kill. Isn't quite enough damage with the poison touch of the right clicks. It will be though from Pi. Double kill picked up on the Dazzle. Secret throwing kind of all hell at this mid lane, and MP is having a great time being put in a great position, and Weeha consistently bullied out the lane.
I think this is what attests to Puppey being such a great captain, is like his situation to his ability to put this dual lane in the mid lane. This is not something that you see very often. Dazzle PA, like let alone PA in general, but these two together against the Ursa is incredibly strong and has caused Secret to propel themselves forward into this great early game lead. Like that's just not something that you find very common. In retrospect, it makes sense. Like, oh yeah, easy. You have the physical mitigation.
Oh, look at this rotation from MP immediately coming out on top, trying to help out with the chakram, but it's not enough damage to finish off of Moon.
He doesn't even have duel yet.
Moon has to be a little careful, even with members around. Mid-one's still going in incredibly aggressively. I mean, he may have gone a little bit too deep here. He's hiding around in the tree line. Still has a fair bit of mana to play around with. Goes across towards Moon. Can't quite finish him off. Mid-one getting himself out. Has got 3 points in the reactive armor. Dagger will be thrown across on Wee, trying to hold him back. Mid-one. Man goes up again with the chakram, holding DC back. He's going to be A-OK. Plays his way around the 3 of them and keeps himself alive.
This is really hard because they really only have physical damage in this lane. A lot will add up from her Fury Swipes, but Ursa's not really able to man up on him because he just does so much damage. They will get a lot of value from that shrine, however.
Top lane looks like Secret want to put some pressure onto DC. Moon's going to TP across. Kezu eyeing him up with an Amplify. Moon starts to move forward on the side as well. Puppey he's going to find Resolution, and will actually be able to take the bounty rune before Rezo picks it up. So Puppey gets the bounty rune and he's on his way out. Still no points in net, of course. Resolution looks like he's got the superior speed. We'll have another Riptide in a second. Misery's mana leak. They should be able to get it. No, Kezu's presence turns up, holds back the illusions, and with a grave, Puppey's going to be fine. Gets himself back to safety, and again, Secret just evading any attempt from DC to get a kill.
They're able to slow the Naga down too. Naga's like forced to fight a little bit, use her illusions to chase down heroes, perhaps scout a little bit, and just not able to AFK farm as much as you want to as a Naga Siren this early into the game.
And Pete just going to quickly juke around Weeha in this mid lane, especially needed to do so with Saxa in the neighborhood as well. Has got that 1 point in the evasion, but still cannot underestimate the damage output that this Ursa can offer if he gets the lockdown onto you. As Wee continues to try and climb his way back up the CS board, get that far, but still just the overall lead very much for Secret. That mid one, the kind of safe lane and such. He on this Timbersaw has been causing issues down on the bottom, now onto the top. Misery and Moon have to be careful about Kezu and mid one's combination plays. Mid lane, MP moving in once again onto Weeha, bringing him down low, forcing him to back right out of lane, taking crits like that. Weeha can't do a huge amount to sustain against this pressure. Has the salve. Has to be very careful, especially with Pilot Eye in the neighborhood as well. Bottom lane, Resolution and Saxa tried to move forward to make a play onto Puppey, but they themselves have to be careful. Mid-one's turned up, tries to cover the trees with the chakram, isn't going to find Saxa. Rezo simply using the song to make sure that those two can get back to safety and get away from the grips of Secret.
That's a really long cooldown, though. 3 minutes at level 1, and that just, I think, is going to invite Secret to play even more aggressively with the Timbersaw and the PA, even more so than they have already been doing. That Shrine still down on bottom for a couple minutes. Mid tower's under heavy fire from this duel in the mid lane.
Kezu, progress to the Blink Dagger, just over halfway there.
They have to find some way to get this Ursa back in the game. Like, he's going for really small items, too. He actually picked up an Aquila on the Ursa. That's very unusual. Usually you'll see Phase Boost or Morbid Mask around this time, so you can either chase people down with this movement speed from Phase Boost.
He's in so much trouble. MP's got a DD rune. No chance at all there for the Legion
might be in trouble, too.
He has got to hope that they didn't see him. He's hiding there behind the tower. But more TPs will come through for DC. I've got to be careful with MP walking around with still a good amount of duration left on the DD.
Oh, that Sentry Ward doesn't catch the Radiant Observer.
And just outside, so MP will have the vision, but of course, at the same time, DC will know exactly what's up. Mizuri just having to hide in the tree line. Will reveal himself with this Illuminate. And the question is if Secret want to come looking for him, and they may want to.
And look at Pilot in the mid lane. He's just able to right-click on the tower as a Dazzle because he knows that nothing's really going to stop him. Yeah. This is really bad when...
And they hunt for Misery. You know, he reveals his position with the Illuminate spam from the tree line. And Secret just know that they've got more than enough damage to just dive towers and take kills incredibly quickly. 7-1 now, Secret with the lead. We'll switch over to the networks to see how this is kind of reflected. And indeed, MP at the top of the board, level with Resolution at the moment, but then Mid-1 and Kezu just in fantastic positions in comparison to the cores on DC.
Yeah, who's really going to make plays for DC at this time? Moonmander's 0-3, like still has yet to pick up any sort of dual damage. He's not going for Blink either. He's going for an Armlet to try and tank up a little bit more. We had to go for Aquila. He can get a Blink or a Morbid Mask that soon. And of course, Naga's just going to be farming her Radiant. So it's kind of on one of these two that they might have to try and make a play soon, or else all these towers are going to be falling.
It's certainly going to be interesting to see how DC can to do their best to bring it back after a bit of a rocky start against Secret. Dazzle.
Slaughter has his Blink. He's TPing into the bottom lane. We could be in a lot of trouble. Shrine is not up for 35 seconds.
Let's see how active Kezu can get. Jump Ward is only onto illusions, though. So a little bit of a bad reveal there with the Blink Dagger. DC will know to expect it next time.
That's generally why you smoke with the Slaughter or with the Blink Dagger. Like any of the offlane Blink Dagger carries. It's much safer to smoke so you get a guaranteed kill, at least. And won't run into an illusion like that.
Well, Mid-1 got a fair bit of space on that top lane whilst all the action was going down bottom. 5k net worth himself is going to be smoked upon. Can DC actually get the kill, though? They head to the north, but Mid-1, he's already out to the south, and he is well away. So with this smoke, DC unable to find a lock onto a big hero kill.
Yeah, they definitely would have been able to get the kill on him with double overpower on him. I don't think he had reactive sacks at the time either, so Timbersaw narrowly dodges what would have been a very important gank for DC, but DC are getting nothing out of the map. Just a little bit of farm on the Naga Siren, 1 kill in 13 minutes. Lanes have gone disastrously. Ursa is supposed to be really good in lane versus melee heroes, but again, the 2-on-1 situation in the mid lane just...
Resolution, he's going to have to song if he can, but he can't. The global's there from Puppey and an immediate takedown from Secret. Catching out Rezo, setting him further behind. He did pick up the recipe and a bit of desperation, but of course still a while away to go for that Radiance. It isn't going to be the quick timing that they were hoping for if Secret are able to continue to find these sort of pickoffs.
And that was all unreliable gold, too. He has 0 reliable gold because DC have not taken down any objectives or gotten any kills in the entire game, pretty much. So, you know, buying Radiance is not that big a deal because he still loses the same amount of gold. He might be in a lot of trouble, actually, because of that if he keeps on dying, because then he won't have the relic banked.
As we can see, overall net worth 6k lead, comfortable lead for Secret. Definitely not out of the game, though, DC. They have got potential. You can bank on maybe Secret overextending. A nice swap play into the kind of the claws of Ursa. Weehaw can still find these kills.
Secret also has really bad building hitters, too. Phantom
sure.
Assassin is just not very good. Timbersaw, most of the time, just can't hit buildings at all.
They found themselves another hit. Saxa will hold back the PA with the magic missile, but it ain't going to do anything about Mid-1. Slides past with the Timber Chain, 9 for 1. Secret pick up another. DC have attentions towards that bottom tier 1, looking to try and get an objective themselves. See what Secret want to do about it. Kezu and Puppey in the neighborhood. Bring in MP in as well. They're going to smoke up and go. It was spotted out by the last seconds of this Observer ward from DC, though.
Kezu still might catch them with the move speed from the sprint. They see Moon.
Doesn't want to go.
Nope. I think that Observer ward caught it.
Should have just on barely, just on the edge of it. Maybe obviously couldn't see what was behind them. And in fact, he's found an opening elsewhere. Did jump in onto Saxa. Will be easily purged and saved by Moon. Be able to back off mid one. Positioning himself in the jungle here just to the side of the tier 1 in case any sort of defense comes through from DC. MP and Pieliedie will finish off the tower. Themselves another objective complete and still continue to maintain control of this game, Secret. DC unable to find the lock that they need to find that crucial kill to start to climb them back into the farm game.
I'm really curious to see what Ursa's going to go next. If he goes Morbid Mask, they're going to try and sneak Roche at some point, probably with a cover of the Naga Siren ultimate. But if he goes for Blink Dagger, they actually want to fight back and maybe stop this train that Secret's bringing onto the dire side of the map.
He's got the Blink queued up. Big item pickups, though, for Secret.
So
Mid one, he has the Bloodstone complete. MP, Desolator's done.
That's really scary. I think they can actually just do Roche themselves on the side of Secret. It's very easy with Amp and the Deso.
Oh, and a DD, Ben. Look at these DDs. MP's been having a great time with these. DD and Desolator 16 minutes in. You've just got to run the heck away if you're DC. You cannot withstand the amount of burst that MP can do if he jumps on and even just gets the one crit.
Yeah, Pieliedie in a little bit of trouble. He's trying to get swapped by Saxa. Saxa only level 7, though, so range is not going to be enough. And still 0 dual damage on Moon Meander.
This will do nicely.
MP, TP down towards the bottom. Actually, no, it looks like he held back on that one. Did cancel the TP. Decided to stay up in the jungle. They've got eyes towards the mid. If Kezu can get the jump, they could try for a kill. Sector is there with backup behind, and does he still have the swap? So the save would be there. Top lane, Misery trying to farm safely, but will reveal himself with the Illuminate. Secret, I'm going to look for the dive, though. They just look to bring the creep wave around. And indeed, Kezu's got to be careful. Immediately blinking away. They've got good vision here in their own jungle, DC. And see exactly what Secret's plans are.
DC are doing a good job of buying time for the Naga Siren. She hasn't been forced to use her ultimate in quite some time, and she is very close to that Sacred Relic. Just 1,200 more gold until they finally get some Radiance and finally get some Breathing Room. Things are not looking that great for DC, but this is the most trying part of the game before the Radiance comes out on the Naga Siren. And I think Secret have gotten a lot accomplished, but maybe not enough to deal with potentially a late game Naga. And looks
if
like
they
are
get this
smoke.
kill now, though,
Yeah.
that absolutely could be it.
But he is in a really good spot.
but-
He's right next to the tower. He does have a clarity on him, so it's very obvious as to which one the real one is. But, Kezu will go the wrong way. Resolution, they still aren't exactly sure where he is. There's still a lot of time left for him to smoke.
He's going to be the target instead.
Oh, that's a crit.
It certainly is. And with that pickoff, they'll actually just find themselves in a good position to head straight into the Roshan. And very little that DC can do about this, especially with the speed that Secret take it with this lineup and the items that they have. Rezo, 800 away from that relic, as you said. As long as he can get it, it is DC, it's DC Naga. They're so good with this hero. The Radiance, it really is that one little hurdle that they have to climb at the start, and Secret is doing their best to raise the bar as high as possible and make sure that DC trip over it. Bottom lane, TP's already coming in. Secret ready to hold. Simply going to jump forward. Has got the Aegis. He can afford to play with these aggressive plays. And again, just cuts down on the Legion. The damage just ridiculous that's coming out from this PA at this stage of the game. 11 for 1. And with this PA pick, it just seems the Secret know exactly what they're doing, man.
Yeah, they really do. But still, the Radiance is coming online very, very soon. They don't have that many solutions to it, but I think with this early game lead, they can at least take a lot of objectives and slow down her item progression. Timbersaw has the BOTs, so they already have a solution for the split push. Like, this Timbersaw is really strong. The net worth might be close in between the Timbersaw and the Naga Siren, but this early in the game when Naga doesn't have any items, and Timbersaw has level 4 reactive, he has no problem at all dealing with the illusions.
Secret just going to move in for another tier 2. Top lane, Pi trying to pick up some levels, pick up some farm. This bottom lane, we'll see if DC want to do anything about this. Resolution does have the gold, needs to get his way out somehow to that shop to pick the relic up. Secret looks like they'll get this. There'll be a scan from the Radiant. They will spot out Saxa in the neighborhood.
Radiant's top tower
Oh, sorry.
is under
Yeah,
attack.
they spot him out. And in fact, yeah, they want to try and go for him. Kezu already moving across.
Dire's bottom
Can he get the jump? Will be able to jump in immediately onto us. And in fact, with the global silence coming through, well, a buying time for Secret to come in. He can't play his way out of this one again. Secret taking down the Fuzzy Wuzzy. 12-1. More and more DC blood is spilt.
Space
the
created.
Radiance is now picked up. 20 minutes in, it's not the ideal timing, but it's a timing that DC can certainly still work with. They can bring this game back around there.
Secret also have good heroes that like bypass the front line, like the Slaughter, the PA, the Timbersaw. They can all just go back to the back line to assault the Keeper of the Light. That's the main hero that I think you want to kill early on, if possible. I mean, if he presents himself, then he's a great target because he's their main staller while they buy time for this Naga Siren. And before Resolution has BOTs, the recall is also extremely useful.
Puppy, let me get a little too close here. Saxa and Moon moving in, but Kez, a bit of a bait. Kezu in with a two-man crush. Mid one in the midst of them all with the burst damage, bringing them down low. Moon's trying to get himself out through the trees. Saxa's out, so's Moon. Again, the Secret just finding so many kills in this stage of the game in comparison to what DC can do. 21 minutes in, 14 for 1. Make that 15 for 1 as Kezu's in again with the crush. And I've got to say, Ben, we talked about game 2, how Kezu was struggling to find an impact, maybe focus too much on the farm, but this game 3, he's doing exactly what the team needs him to do on the Slaughter.
Yeah, and I really like to play for the Timbersaw. I think Timbersaw has been playing exceptionally well. Like, the way he ran around with just like arcane boots and the stout shield in the early game and just forced DC to bring like 3 or 4 heroes to where he was just made life incredibly difficult for Naga Siren and Ursa.
And what can they do to stop this DC? They've lost the tier 3. Secret pushing on to the racks as well. Keeping Resolution held back. Can they get away with finishing this? That's the question. They're kind of toying with the idea, but looks like Secret are going to feel confident in sticking around for the moment. They'll head off, back themselves away, and look to push another day. Not feeling the pressure to get too much done as of yet. Feeling very confident with the lead that they have. 15,000 net worth difference on them at the moment.
It could easily be thrown away with like a blast into a sleep into another blast. We've seen that happen before, and there are no BKBs yet. And yeah, PA probably will survive because of the Aegis of the Immortal, but some of the other heroes may perish. There is no Hood yet on the Timbersaw, no BKB yet on the Slaughter. Maybe not prime time for them to push the high ground, especially if Keeper of the Light is not dead. I think if Keeper were dead, it'd be super easy for them to go. Again, I think he's the most important hero for the high ground defense on the side of DC. Oh, aside from Naga Siren, but
DC grouping up themselves now up on the top. Have their eyes set on a tier 1. Secret in return. They'll take a tier 2 and very well may pressure in for more and look to force DC back. DC will get the trade to manage to claim the tower. Now the TP back starting to come through. Secret move across to the mid lane where the racks are already exposed. Final TP just waiting for Weeha. He's now going to head himself across. The damage starting to being done by a Secret. What can DC do to hold this one back? The Aegis has now expired. BKB is complete for MP though. He is going to be feeling very strong in these engagements. BKB, the backup of Pies Dazzle as well, who's had some great farming, great levels on this Dazzle, level 12, Mech and Medallion. A lot that could be thrown down to keep those frontliners a Secret alive if they do wish to make the jump.
Resolution, microing his illusions to the max, trying to stall out this wave push. If they can kill this next wave, I think that DC are going to be pretty happy with the pace.
And look at this, Ben. I mean, just looking at the net worth at the moment, all 4 of DC's members, apart from Resolution, at the bottom of the net worth.
Okay, they TP'd out with the Naga Siren, so maybe they can get some pressure on the side lanes. They still have recall to bring her back. Misery just popped his spirit form. Yeah, Ursa's struggling. That's that's rough. I just didn't really see a good way for him to come back, just because Naga Siren is occupying the jungle, and then none of the lanes are really free for him to take. The supports need the top lane, mid lane was just hell for him, and the bottom lane, the LC needs some items too. But normally they put him in a one-on-one matchup that he would fare a lot better in.
Secret. Will they make the jump this time? MP heading in, clearing out the illusions. DC, who can get the jump in if there's any. If it's actually going to be mid-1 jumping in onto them. Links forward, holding them back with a bit of control. MP turning his attention back towards the racks. Just spamming out the daggers. I mean, Saxa just losing huge amounts of his health there to a crit from MP. And there's the jump in from mid-1 and bursting them down low. Saxa will just survive. Now MP comes through. They've got the global silence to make sure that they can bring down Resolution. A quick crit to chop down on Moon. Double kill for MP. The slaughter does just not end. Can they kill anyone on Secret? That's the question. MP jumps back in onto Misery. A crush comes through on Kezu. Onto 2. They've taken down the Ursa. Moon, he says, fight me to MP, but MP fights back. Puppey, he's the successor of this fight as he picks up a double kill. Resolution comes out with the song, but it may be just a little too late here. Saxa in potential trouble as well. It actually look towards Puppey with the Illuminate, bringing him down low. Puppey will tick out to the Radiance damage. They did manage to find the silencer at the end of it all, but huge casualties once again on DC. Secret turn back towards the racks. In fact, MP, he wants blood first. Jumps in with the Kezu Crush onto 2. Now towards Resolution. Saxa swaps Resolution away. But it's just not looking to be enough here from DC as they've lost the mid racks. 21-2 now.
Look at mid-1. He's just walking around without a care in the world.
I mean, how many? He's got 23 Bloodstone charges, Ben.
He was tanking 2 heroes, like 5 creeps, and a tower while they were shrining, and still they can't kill him. That's a sad life. He has a 14 health regen talent, too, so... Yeah. It's a lot of regen. He's almost at full HP.
This is looking pretty brutal, Ben. Probably at the moment one of the kind of biggest leads that we've seen at this tournament. 26 minutes in, 21-2, nearly reaching onto a 26,000 net worth lead, 1,000 a minute.
The YOLO
coming around the
smoke
corner.
coming from DC, trying to perhaps bait out Wii. But there is a Helmet Dominator creep that identifies exactly where Wii is. The Satyr Banisher just purging him and making his life miserable.
What's he going to do? Will be revealed behind the tower. Mid-1 coming across. They'll look towards Moon, but MP and Kezu immediately in. Weeha jumping into the backline. Looking to bring down MP, but the Grave and the BKB is there in time. Weeha juts up, silenced up. He's cut down. DC again losing 2. Kezu moving over to Saxa is being brought back, but the damage comes through. Holds him in. A 3rd death yet again. I mean, DC, they just can't stop dying, Ben.
Yeah.
Resolution, I mean, he's desperately trying to find something for his team. I mean, he's up there. The rest of his team, they're down there.
It's quite the gamble going for Octarine also before the Manta style. Normally you want the Manta style so that if you global silence, you can Manta and then sleep to save your team. But right now, there is no counterplay to the global silence right now, and he is just going to have to worry about his own net worth. That's the only way they can come back in this game. Resolution already TP's on bottom, tries to stall out for better days.
Some of these KDAs looking very impressive, of course. MP 10-0-7. I mean, it really did kind of feel that it all kicked off from that mid lane. The kind of call of the decision, as you said, probably Puppey making to put this dual lane mid. The PA Dazzle combinations just absolutely beat out Weeha's Ursa.
Yeah, they
and
also...
there was nothing that DC could do in response in the lanes, it seemed.
Yeah, maybe they could have like paired the Ursa down on bottom, but I don't think I've seen Wii not go in the mid lane before.
Yeah, I think very rarely they can move it around. I mean, Rezo can kind of put into it. They can switch it up.
Well, Nagasar would have gotten destroyed there, too.
And that's, with the Naga, doesn't really work out. And we're talking about the Naga, Ben. She's having a few problems on her plate. Secret jump in. Resolution's out for a full minute. Kezu seeing if he can hunt down for more. On the mid lane, Saxa, and we are finding mid-1. Can they actually bring him down here? He'll yules himself up. Has the backup of Puppey and Pilar die. It's actually Weeha and Saxa that are in trouble. They just turn and kill them. 4 dead, and GG is called. The murder and the slaughter finally comes to a stop as Secret just dismantled DC 28-2, 29 minutes in. One of the most brutal games we've had here, Ben.
Keeper Naga, not a guaranteed win for DC. That's for sure.
Yeah, a combination that teams at the last LAN at ESL proved to be very hard to deal with. They didn't have any answers.
I personally don't think it's a Naga patch. Naga just seems a little bit too slow for my liking, but generally DC win the other lanes. With this game, this is what happens when you're behind as a Naga Siren.
So hard for Resolution to come back in. I mean, he tried his best. We saw him in Networth. He wasn't falling behind, but the rest of his team just really struggled to find anything. The kind of the pressure, the pace that was being played. I mean, MP's PA, you know, you talk about it not being a patch for the Naga. It certainly feels like it's a patch for